Hello, lovely people, and welcome to my channel. My name is Stephanie, and this is Evolved Chit. It's my little corner of the world where I like to talk about spirituality, metaphysical stuff, universal laws, and psychology. So before I get started on this video topic, I want to thank you for being here. I'm getting more subscribes, and people are commenting and liking and hearing from people and doing some coaching sessions, and it's just been really cool experience. And I had no idea where this was going to go or if anyone would even find my channel, because I do nothing to promote it but just record videos and put it out here when I think about these things. So I'm glad to hear that this is helpful for some people. So I appreciate the feedback, and I want to encourage you, to subscribe and share the content if you know people who are also struggling with this. These are the things that have helped me, and I hope that they can help you. So also in the comments, share what's going on in your world. What's working for you, what's not working for you. And if you have any ideas for other topics or, things to explore, I'd love to hear about it and consider them. So thanks for being here, and thanks for being a part of the conversation. So today's video, I want to talk about being I don't even know the phrase, honestly, being in a mission, or when you meet your twin flame, you are reunited to be on a mission or get into a mission. And then I've also heard the term, or read the term, the chosen ones. And I don't, sometimes I wonder, it's like, well, who decided this and where did it come from? So I never really got behind that, but the mission stuff I did. I thought that was really cool because, at the time I felt like I was kind of all over the place in some areas of my life and was looking to kind of corral things in. And for whatever reason, that just resonated. So in my research, though, I was like, I need to understand, like, why is this a mission and who says so, and, whatever. And I don't know if I ever really found out, like, who says so, but there is content out there that, that speaks to this, and it can be very confusing. So one channel that I happened upon, and I wish I could remember the name of the channel because I'd love to give this person the credit for really enlightening me on this topic. So, but she is a spiritual teacher and a reader, and also said that she is on a twin flames journey. So, so I heard this content from her, and one tool that you can use if you're, trying to, figure out like where you are in your life, and where you're going, and what does it all mean, and why are you having these feelings. So one thing that was also very helpful for me was learning about an astrological aspect called your North Node. So this YouTube channel, they talked about how you can use this aspect and its placement. So my North Node is in Sagittarius, and then conversely there's a South Node, and that's the opposite of your North Node, and for Sagittarius that's Gemini. So she talks about how you can use this information to help you, get into alignment with like what your soul's path is in terms of astrology. And, some people call astrology a pseudoscience, and they can say that, but the planets are real and we can measure things. And if you think about it, you entered this world physically, your cosmic self entered this world physically on that time that you were born, that moment. So that's why also having that your time of birth can be really helpful, because it's like really pinpointing it. And then your astrology chart is like your cosmic blueprint. So in your chart, there's an aspect called the North Node and the South Node. And the North Node is what we are here to ascend to be, transcend. That's like our transcendence. And then our South Node is what we are, emerging from. So energetically, if you believe we recycle and come back as new beings, just like our plants do every year, then we are coming in from another life. So, the idea is that the South Node is what we were being in our last life. So, and there can be good things about that, and there can be bad things about that, or whatever, however you want to label them. And that's like our karma. So the good stuff is, what we're coming into this life with, what we're like armed with, our experiences, our knowledge, our handedness, the things that we're good at doing, are good with. And which makes sense, where when you think about what you gravitate towards, or like for me, I can see the good stuff of Gemini. I'm like, yep, I can see all of that. And then there's the shadowy stuff or the dark stuff. So it could be just like a lower vibration um, that you're bringing in with you. And that's what you're here to transcend from, is the shadowy stuff, and into the North Node, which is the higher self. And even that can create both, kind of good and bad karma. And now that we know this and we can see how this energy works, it's like, all right, we're human and we're having a human experience, and that's what we're here to do. And sometimes we can be a little cranky, or bitchy or an asshole or whatever, but how do we lessen that? And that's what I believe, for me, that this experience has been in meeting my twin flame, or if you want to call it a midlife crisis or a dark night of the soul, whatever it was triggered by this person who has a lot of characteristics like me. So it's interesting when you look at it from that perspective. And so for me, the North and South Node stuff really resonates. And I, when I was, doing a lot of this research, so in addition to that channel and really using that as a concept and a tool to to further understand myself, I did more research, and I happened upon, many sites. There are two that I go to, like two go-to sites that I have when I talk about North Node. And one is the Astro Twins, and their website is Astro Style, and their content, they're amazing. And their content's really a lot of fun. And they have a great description on the different nodes and things like that. And the cool thing about the North Node and South Node aspect, like some things in astrology, like you need your time of birth, but to get the basic information, you don't, because it's kind of an extended aspect. I think it happens over a couple of years. So, so I will put links in the description to these resources that have been helpful for me. So, but their site's cool because they have some cute information about like which celebrities also have that same aspect, which is pretty neat to see too, as you're reading more about this information. So the other site that I love is, she is an astrologer, and her name is Karen M. Black, and that's her website too. And again, I'll put the link below to these pages that are resources that have really been helpful for me in understanding this and just learning more about these aspects and what they may mean. And there really is some interesting content about the personalities that we may have been in another life, and what we're coming in with. So that was really compelling. I'm like, oh, I could see somewhere where that shows up for me. So, but anyway, her content is really helpful, and it is, really helped me to continue to tap into who I am. And what my truth is, and this content really resonates for me. So in that respect, it's just another tool in the toolkit that has helped me with my self-concept and what I feel like as a soul I'm here to experience. So far it's a very interesting measure for me, and something that I can align with, which is why I talk to people about it and share it with them. And I have probably shared this knowledge with like just people in my immediate life, like family members, friends, people I've met out at a bar. I've talked to about their nodes. Anywhere I'll talk to people about it. So but most people who like have said that this information has really resonated for them, understanding this node. They thought it was really cool how accurate it was in some ways, and in ways that I may not have known about them. So it was really interesting to hear their perspective. And one person in particular is my twin flame. Actually, he was someone that would come to me, and I did a video on this topic a few months ago and talked about this. And I shared this information with him like early on, like when we first met, and we were talking about things that we love. And I talk about astrology, and I told him about this and where his aspect is, and shared some links with him. These links I'm just talking about. And then we didn't talk about it again. And, fast forward a couple of years later, just to earlier this year, and we were having a conversation, and he told me, he's like, he thanked me for sharing that information with him. He said that was really life affirming, and it really validated a lot of like how I feel of like who I am as a person. And I was, I was so happy for him to like really connect with this and feel validated. And then also I was like, yes, a win for astrology, because astrology is said to be a pseudoscience, and you can call it what you like, but I mean the planets are real, and we can measure things. And when you think about it, we arrived in this world in the physical form at a very specific time, and there was stuff going on in the stars. So it's interesting to be able to chart that and see like what our cosmic blueprint is. So, and an aspect within there is the North Node and South Node. So the North Node, again, is what we're ascending or transcending to be in this life. What karma are we creating? And understanding that those characteristics and that placement can be really helpful. And then the South Node is what we're transcending from, and using those skills and gifts that we had from a previous life, like the good stuff, and then also the shadowy and not so good stuff. So that's also an aspect of it, and what we're transcending from. And when I read this content on her website, I was really floored by how accurate it felt for me on a very deep level. And I felt so seen. I was like, oh my God. And so I highly recommend checking that out, because it can help you with your self-concept. If you're, trying to figure things out, and you're been on this path for a while, and it's been about projection or push-pull energy with this person or with anything in your life, a lot of this shows up in many ways in our lives. We don't realize it. And this experience for me has shown me so much more about that push-pull energy that's going on inside of me. And then being energetic beings, which is my belief, then that's the frequency we're putting out there, is that push and that pull. So getting a handle on that, it really allows you to see that this whole thing, that this experience, what this has done, is showing you that you are the magic. You are the one who's creating this frequency, this energy, this vibration. That's our magic. So be conscious of that push-pull energy, and use tools like astrology to help you create and identify with your self-concept, and getting clear on, what is your vibration? Where do you want to be? If you look at the Abraham Hicks scale, it's like they have a vibration frequency chart, and I just saw a really cool visual of it. If I can find it, I'll share it on my channel. But basically it's like, the components, or the energetic scale or frequency of like being in a higher vibration, and then there's one of being in a lower vibration, and it's like, from fear to, on the lowest vibration to, joy and pure love to the highest vibration. So we can choose where we want to be within that frequency, and you can even play around with this. I mean, it's pretty cool. But the goal is to transcend into our highest vibration, and, transcend up that energetic cord. And I feel that, this person triggered all of this in me has been an absolute gift, although it certainly doesn't feel that way sometimes, but it really has been, and I'm grateful for it. And it still shows me every day where I'm at in my energy, and not every day is perfect. But using tools like astrology, and also coupling it with like the self-inquiry, which is what Liora, who was a Twin Flames coach and spiritual teacher, she has an ebook and about how to, it's called the Twin Flame Sacred Keys, but it's the exercises in the ebook are self-inquiry, and when we're triggered, the exercises are, it's something to practice very consciously, and being aware of what's going on within your push-pull energy, what's happening inside of you. So when those push-pulls come up and you're not in that more, balanced state, which is the Zen state, then our frequency is like pushing and pulling to whatever extent that it is. Could be projecting one way or another on the fear and love scale, So understanding that push-pull energy, and then identifying like why are we pushing or pulling. This is the self-inquiry, and it allows you to see that some of it is just a pattern based on beliefs, based on our trauma. And the cool thing is that we can reset this, we can rewire it. So sometimes it takes a little time because of however deep those trauma scars may be. And this is the thing about healing, is that sometimes holding on to things that people did to us, it really hurts us more, and it can cut really deep. So for me, when I went through this whole experience, I had to there were some things that I wasn't letting go of, and I needed to like forgive myself, and I needed to forgive the other person. And again, I believe that this whole like experience that I've had with this twin flames phenomenon, it was just a gift, and being able to show me this, and understand this. So using a tool like astrology and understanding my North Node, South Node aspect has been helpful. And that website, Karen M. Black's website, she also has out there some content on Karmic astrology and understanding what it means, your Saturn, what's your Saturn aspect is, so where your Saturn placement is. So Saturn is a slower moving planet, and it's like the teacher of the chart. So it shows you what we're here to also learn. And she has some great content on this on her site as well, and I'll put a link to that in the description. When I read it again, I was like, man, I feel so seen. It's really powerful. And I've looked at this content many times. I would say at least a dozen times I've read it since I've stumbled upon it. And every time I read it, it's a little more profound and like deeper. But this time I was like, I've been really honest with myself about some of my beliefs and my trauma, and this information was really useful and validating. And I could see how I could leverage it more too, to continue to transcend up the energetic cord. I could see where some negative aspects of my Saturn was affecting me, but what I was here to learn from it, like how I can learn from this and then apply it. And she talks about that on her page. So again, having your time of birth is always helpful if you're doing an astrology chart, but I believe with Saturn, for most people, you should be able to clearly pinpoint what your Saturn aspect is and find this information easily and use it for your benefit. So again, put this in your toolkit on building out your self-concept, because it helps you identify, what's important to you, so you're more quick to identify what's going on in that push-pull energy dynamic. You can more quickly identify how to self-soothe if it's something that you need to do, and correct course. It does happen. It can happen. I promise you. I'm one of those people who did it, but it is like building a muscle. It's like lifting weights. It takes a little bit of time. It creates that muscle memory, and it's not perfect all the time. Every now and then, my snark really comes out, and my trauma made me funny for whatever reason. So it's just been like a crutch my whole life, and something I've had to address in some ways. So getting clear on your self-concept is really helpful. So when, red flags, green flags, yellow flags are present, and what's for you and what's not for you. And you're not ignoring something that might be unhealthy because of your traumas, making you want to be a people pleaser or stay, or you don't want to abandon someone because you know what it's like to be abandoned, or whatever, push or pull projection that we're doing because of our trauma. Again, that's what like self-concept's for, and it allows you to see where things are out of alignment for you. And so when stuff does come up, you can be like, okay, well, that's not for me. And you can send that experience love or that person love and move on accordingly with your life. Or when something is for you. And it feels a lot more effortless. So using tools like astrology, the self-inquiry process, which Liora, the Twin Flames teacher, which she talks about in her ebook, and that is available for purchase on Amazon. Someone who was, I guess, her student posted it as an ebook, and it's available out there. I bought it and recorded it because I like hearing things on audio, and I figured it would be helpful for other people too. So it's out on my YouTube channel here under the Twin Flame Teachings. So I encourage you to read, go through all the content, but don't get caught up in the twin flame stuff. Like, it's a really pretty story, but you want to focus on, why we're having this experience, and it is because we want to return to wholeness. And this is showing us where we're out of alignment with our highest self and where our ego has been at play because of our trauma. So she has exercises in there to walk us through self-inquiry, and this is the collapsing of the duality. This is the return to wholeness. This is the getting into union. This is the getting into soul. All those phrases we hear, that's what this is. It is magical, but it's you that's the magic. So those exercises are in the third video that I had recorded of the ebook pretty much at the beginning. But check out the whole ebook so you can appreciate the build up for it. Also you can consider going a psychology route that can really help you understand the push-pull energy with your attachment style. And that's what I did, and that was really helpful for me. And then I kind of came back around and I found Liora's content, and I was like, oh wow, this is the same thing. Push-pull, attachment styles, dismissive avoidant or anxious attachment, and so on. Then that allowed me to see how my trauma and my attachment style was informing my push-pull energy. And I did that through self-inquiry, and it took me a little while. But once I knew it, I was like, okay, now I can come up with my little, tools and tricks to help me remain balanced. And again, that is an aspect of developing your self-concept, is your self-care. Because everyone's different. We're all going to have different ways in which we, function and operate, and how we get into soul, or who we are, and, what we're here to contribute to this world, to make it a better place. And that's the mission stuff. So you can use astrology to help you learn more about what your soul's here to do and experience and transcend into. And then also check out the Saturn content that is on Karen's website as well, and I'll put that link in the description below. So this was a fun video. I hope it was interesting and helpful for you. I'd love to hear if anyone else has any epiphanies as a result of, learning about this content or aspect about their astrological chart. Does it feel right for you? Does it resonate for you? So I'd love to hear what you think too. And also, if you have any other suggestions for videos, more than likely I have researched it if it comes down to the twin flame stuff, so or not, I don't know. But definitely open to hearing if there are other topics or areas that would be interesting for me to do another video on, or a future video on. So if you do want to get clear on your self-concept, just a reminder to visit my website, evolvedchit.com, and go to the Get Started page, and you can download the free ebook. It's 7 days of just simple exercises to help you get connected to who you are and building out your self-concept, and what you want to experience in this life and what you want to experience more of. And also check out my blog. I have a lot of content out there about law of assumption and mindfulness and affirmations and how to persist with your mindset and building your psychic gifts and stuff like that. So definitely check out my blog. There's a lot of great resources out there, and I just tried to simplify a lot of the stuff that we read about those topics. And also I'm offering 30 and 60-minute coaching sessions. So if you'd like to connect with me, you can purchase a session through my website. And this is just a reminder that you are loved, you are wonderful, you are amazing, you are awesome, you are necessary, and you are really freaking needed right now. So step into your power. And until next time, I'm sending you lots of love and good vibes for your journey. Bye.